Today I'm at TooManyGames 2024. It's day 2. I'm looking for every Mario and Sonic game at this convention, but not their individual adventures. I'm looking for their Olympic games. I only have the originals, so let's hope to see if the largest game convention in America can complete my collection. Let's go. In case you didn't know, there's 10 Mario and Sonic Olympic Games titles across Nintendo's consoles and handhelds. I haven't bought any of the sequels and only have the first games from 2007 and 2008. That means I'm looking for 8 games at TooManyGames for Wii, Wii U, DS, 3DS, and Nintendo Switch. Can I find them all at the biggest gaming convention in America? Well, let's talk about it. Because this is my first year attending TooManyGames, I was immediately overwhelmed by the size of the vendor hall. I mean, I went to MagFest a few years back, but it's been a minute. My friends and I tried to look through every vendor, and the first ones we stumbled across had some Wii games, but no Mario and Sonic sequels. Then we backtracked to the smaller booth next to the sick reproduction cartridges. I've always wanted to buy some of these, but decided to pass on them today. They had Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 on PS3 for $10, which is the perfect price point for it. I shifted through some of their other games and found Little Big Planet on the PSP for $15. I tried to bargain $20 for the lot, but they asked for $23, which is fine. You know, this is my first gaming convention in a while, and my first time actually haggling sellers because I brought a decent amount of cash with me. So to get $2 off of my first purchase was a win in my book. Immediately after, I realized my first purchase was on 2 games that are not Mario and Sonic related, but hey, at least I still know what my true objective is. We moved further down and found this booth that was popping with people and had a decent selection of Wii games, shifting through the Wii section, but no Mario and Sonic titles. They did have Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz though. As I was making this video, I realized that they made a HD remake of it in late 2019, which probably would have been a better purchase, but my friends and I, we were playing Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, and Damien mentioned this game being not that bad, so I kind of impulse bought it without doing enough research. It is priced at $8, which is the average on eBay. He also had some stuff in glass cases that guests could actually look through. All the way in the back were the more expensive Nintendo games with like the GameCube, Wii, and 3DS, which is where I found Mario and Sonic at the London Olympic Games for 3DS, priced at $20, and I was gonna try to get this bundle for $25. He went down by like $1 or $2, I forget, because he actually charged sales tax on the lot, even though I was paying with cash. It came up to $28 and change, but I ended up just giving him $30 so I didn't have to carry around the coins. Not to flame the guy or anything, but he's the only seller I encountered all day who charged for sales tax on a cash purchase. I understand on card purchases because of the processing fees and whatnot, but it is what it is. Now that we have successfully found our first Mario and Sonic game, we moved further down the lot. I spotted another booth that was popping, and they had this tower of cheap Nintendo toys and bins of Nintendo Powers. I actually went through my Nintendo Power collection recently to catalog them after finding some $5 ones at Retro Island Gaming. However, all of these books were $10 a piece, which isn't that bad, but a bit too high for the newer ones I was interested in. I think $5 to $7 for Nintendo Powers from 2010 onward is like the sweet spot for me. Anyways, the video games. Nothing for the Mario and Sonic hunt, but he actually had a nice selection of PS2 games. 2 games I've been eyeballing on eBay are Resident Evil 4 and SSX Tricky. I don't have a console version of RE4 that isn't the Wii version, and I heard a lot of great things about SSX Tricky. For about $40, I asked for $35 and the vendor instantly accepted it. I'm very happy with this purchase because the average for SSX Tricky alone goes for $30, and the fact that it was $25 was awesome. Also, both games are very clean with no imperfections on the manual, case, or the disc. Across from this vendor though, I saw Damien looking through some Wii games. First, I spotted House of the Dead 2 and 3 on the Wii for $25. Then my girlfriend thought she saw the original Mario and Sonic game in that bin, but it was actually the Winter Games on the Wii. It was literally right in front of me and I just didn't see it. For $15, that is the perfect price for it. Damien pulled Super Paper Mario, which he thinks he doesn't have in his collection, but for $25, that sounded like a fair price. I was hoping to bundle everything together for $55, which is still above eBay prices, but the condition of all these games were clean and came complete with the manuals. When I asked for $55 instead of $65, the vendor could only do $60. Because I didn't want to give up the Mario and Sonic Winter Games and Damien's Super Paper Mario, I ended up taking the $60 offer. I was quickly learning how to haggle better and even stepping away from potential purchases later in the day. Even if it is $5 off, some sellers can only do a few bucks because it is Saturday and are betting on selling the games at the marked price. Totally understandable, especially since most of the games I was buying were Mario games. I'm sure some of the vendors were more loose on the prices on Sunday, but you know what? I get it. One of the situations where I actually did step away from a sale was I saw a copy of Mario & Luigi Paper Jam and Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. The Superstar Saga, I believe, was priced at $60, and the Paper Jam was a World Edition one, but it was priced at $45, so that one was already overpriced as is. But the Superstar Saga one was a NTSC version, and it was priced at $60. I asked if it could go down to $50, because that's actually all I had on me at the time, and he was like, the prices are pretty firm, you know, it's a pretty clean copy, yada, 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 and I kind of just stepped away from it because I'm like, you know what, it's not for the price that I want, and I think that at some point later this year I could possibly hopefully get it for $50 or maybe even less, because I did find that game actually earlier for Damien for $35. So I was like, you know what, $50, that's still a little high, I'll just give up on it. Anyways, so we reached the end of this row and I found Limited Run Games had a small booth of older games that they printed. They had Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden for Switch, PS4, and Xbox for $35, which is retail price. If you look on eBay, both of those games go for like $60 to even $80 sometimes. I quickly pointed this out to Damien and he bought them instantly for his collection. For me, I decided to skip out on those titles as I'll probably play Persona 3 Reload and, you know, whenever they make that Persona 4 remake. My girlfriend wanted the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic for Switch, and I bought RZ on the PS5. I actually reviewed this game earlier this year, and it's not that bad for a spiritual successor to the Zelda CDI games. I wanted a physical copy of it because I missed out on the pre-order window for this project after I finished my video. For $75 after tax, it's not that bad of a haul, especially after looking at the prices on eBay. Love or hate Limited Run Games, they do make physical versions of a lot of indie games that otherwise would never get a box copy. Moving along, we kind of zipped around the booths in the back because this is where Artist Alley was. So many talented artists were here selling their pins, posters, charms, and whatever else they had for sale. Radachi had this big Yoshi pin that was a must cop for my girlfriend. It's so freaking cute, like just look at it. Walking around for a bit, I spotted Mario and Sonic at the Winter Games on DS for $10. Once again, the perfect price point for this game, especially complete. I wasn't going to haggle this guy just because I was very much content with the $10 price tag. Moving a bit over, another booth had some Wii games and other Nintendo games too. Once the crowd cleared up a bit, I found Mario and Sonic at the London Games for $16. It was missing the manual, which kind of bummed me out. I could always try to find the manual elsewhere, but I didn't want to do that. I ended up skipping out on this one, hoping I would find it at another booth down the road. We walked past this booth called Geek Boutique for Massachusetts. They had all these high-end complete PS1 and Game Boy games for sale, which was cool to see. For a couple $100 though, you know what, I'm fine skipping on these for now. Towards the back end of the hall, this is where I found a booth that was selling Mario Party 9 for $40, which is fairly competitive with eBay. This was the first copy I saw all weekend, and I've been eyeballing this game and Mario Party 8 on eBay for a minute now. I asked for $35 and the seller accepted. I was very happy with this purchase, especially since this game was going for over $60 earlier this year. I have no idea what caused the price to decline, but I'm happy I got it for $35. We finally circled back all the way around to the front of the convention where we skipped some of these vendors. This vendor had a massive booth that pretty much circled around themselves, like it was kind of like a square, I guess, not a circle, but they had a lot of Wii U stuff, and one game that piqued my interest is Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, which is one of the more expensive games on this hunt, ranging from $60 to $70 on eBay. I also found Paper Mario Color Splash, which is another semi-expensive Wii U game, still around $40 to $50. They were priced at $65 and $55 respectively, so I tried to get it to $100 flat from $115. I already knew this was a bit of a stretch, but wanted to, give it a shot anyways. After talking to another person at the booth, the vendor came back to me and said $105, which I gladly accepted. I actually didn't have any more singles, so I actually had to get Damien to give me $3 more, but you know what, like I said earlier, I helped him get that Mario and Luigi on 3DS, so I think this is a fair trade. Both of these games are still around the $50 to $60 range because they both released in 2016, pretty much the end of the Wii U's lifespan. I don't know how good Rio 2016 is, but I am aware of Color Splash's reputation. I didn't buy these games for their quality, but for the collection. Don't get it twisted though, I do plan on playing these games one day. At this point of the convention, we have been walking around the entire show floor for 3 to 4 hours and we explored nearly every vendor. I was running low on cash from all my purchases I've made so far for myself, my girlfriend, and Damien. I wanted to finish out the rest of the booths in the front since we skipped out on all of them. I still had a few more Mario and Sonic games I was looking out for. After looking through some of the booths, I stumbled across Flashback Gaming, which is located right back here on Long Island. Even though it was a small booth, I was able to pull out Mario and Sonic Rio 2016 for 3DS. I had to double check my backpack to make sure I didn't buy this game already because I accidentally crossed it off instead of London 2012 from earlier. Anyways, I looked through their cheaper Wii stuff and found Knight's Journey of Dreams marked at $15, and there was no price tag on Mario and Sonic, so I wanted to see what the vendor was asking for. After he went through price charting and eBay, he came back to me with $35 for the lot, which isn't that bad. Considering Rio 2016 on 3DS goes complete for $30 alone, I was happy with my final purchase. At the end of my journey at TooManyGames, I was able to come away with 16 games in total. For the Mario and Sonic challenge, I was able to find 5 out of the 8 games I needed for my collection. All in all, not that bad. I never found Mario and Sonic Sochi 2014 on the Wii U or Mario and Sonic Tokyo 2020 on Nintendo Switch. I could have bought London 2012 on Wii for $16, but it was in rough shape and it had no manual. Even though I wasn't able to complete my challenge, I had a blast shopping around at TooManyGames. There's so many vendors who specialize in reselling video games. I was surprised by how many import/Japanese vendors were at the event too. If you ever get a chance to attend TooManyGames, I highly recommend it. It's the biggest gaming convention in America and there's tons of deals to be made here. I made so many memories on this trip and spent way too much money. I might be back next year, we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want more videos like this, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I put new videos up on Saturdays. Follow me on social media at TVSoundedGaming. I'm on pretty much everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Put updates on my future videos on there. And you can check out my podcast called the Travis and Damien Podcast. We talk about games, movies, and anime every other week. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching this video once again. And I'll see you guys next time with more videos.